Welcome to the Terrible Podcast with your hosts from SteelersDepot.com, where you can find all your latest and greatest Steelers news. It's Dave Bryan and Alex Kozora, always lit, talking Steelers. And now, here's Dave and Alex.
Welcome to the Terrible Podcast, Season 15, Episode 22. He's Dave Bryan. I'm Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com. And did you guys miss us? Because we're right back here on this Friday, just an hour and a half or so after concluding our normal Friday episode. We have some breaking news wanted to bring along with you and bring to you. And Dave, you'd said at the end of the normal podcast that if any news happens with one Pat Freiermuth, we'll jump back on. And here we are, signed, sealed, delivered, 4-year, $48.1 million extension, according to his agency, reported out by Tom Pelissero, Ian Rappaport. We'll talk some of the numbers and some of the particulars here in a moment. There is a discussion to be had about that. But bottom line, Dave, is the deal is done with tight end Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, had a feeling it would have been hugely surprised had it not been. So I think the question was this going to be a 3-year extension or was it going to be a 4-year extension? Not a lot of early numbers per se, as far as hard figures like signing bonus and all. We do think that we know at least what Pat Freiermuth will earn through 2025, the first new year of the deal. And we think that we know his new money average as well, too, if it's being as reported. That would, once again, this is dangerous working on early numbers, but it feels like there's enough here. 12.1 new money average. And if indeed that is correct, that would rank him right behind Cole Kmet at 12.5 million. And right above Dalton Schultz at, 12 million for him. So I had the floor at Pat Freiermuth of new money average at 12.5 million. So if this thing indeed comes in at 12.1 million, that's 400,000 per year lower than the floor that I had. So good on them on that, if indeed that is the number. Had a feeling he's going to rank right in there, right? We said, man, there's no way he was going to reach the 14 million number of Mark Andrews. The question was, how would he top Cole Kmet at 12.5 million? And if he did, how would he jump somebody like Njoku or Ingram? I think I had his ceiling at just above Ingram at 13. It would have been like 13.8 million there. So it seems like you got a little bit of a deal here with him overall. The fact that he did not top Cole Kmet. And now we wait for the specifics. And we also got our other answer that this is a 4-year extension on top of it there. So Jerry Dulac of the Post-Gazette is reporting that, what did he say? 23.38 guaranteed. I'll be surprised if that's fully guaranteed. That might be a total of injury guarantees and fully guaranteed money. I'll be really shocked if that's fully guaranteed. Now using that number, 23, what do you say? 23.38? Is that right? Yeah. 23.38 million. You would think that that's the total money that Freiermuth will earn through 2025 next season. That would make sense based on all the math there. Freiermuth was previously scheduled to earn 1.482024 million in 2024. So if you take that number that's being reported of 44.1, that was the number, right? 44.4, I believe was the number No, 48.4. I'm already lost here. 48.4. And if you add on what he was scheduled to earn in 2024, that's why you'll see another number floating around, I believe, of 49.882 and some change.
And the reason that it's being framed by some as 5 years, that's tacking on his current year, correct?
Right. It's a 4-year extension on top of 2024. Okay. So this thing should run through 2028 here. The best guess I can have is that this signing bonus is probably going to come in right around between 11 and 12 million, probably, I don't know, 10.9, 11, 11.5, something like that. While he does technically sound like he's going to rank below Cole Kmet as far as average yearly value at 12.1 million, I would not be surprised if Pat Freiermuth's cash flow, at least through the first 2 new years of this deal, meaning 2025 and 2026, is a little bit stronger. Cole Kmet, through the first new year of the deal, had $20 million in new money. And if you take Jerry Dulac's $23.38 million and assume that that's the money through the first new year, that would make sense there. Now, how the salaries come in 2026, 2027, 2028, those numbers are probably going to be right around 9 million base salary, or a combination of base salary and roster bonus within that. I'm kind of pegging Freiermuth's cap hit for 2023 to not increase much at all. I'll be surprised if it increases 3 million. I think realistically you're looking at his cap number going up somewhere between like 2. What do I have here? 2.18 million to like 2.5 or 2.6 million, depending on the signing bonus given. So you're not losing a lot of cap space to get this done overall. And once again, I'll be surprised if the guaranteed money is more than just the signing bonus plus the base salary. Willing to bet they left his base salary alone because it wasn't so sizable at 1.482024. Now, obviously, there's no guarantee in that, but that's kind of what the early numbers, the math is kind of telling me right now at this point. So the big picture here, because people hate, I love talking about these numbers and going deep like that. A lot of people don't. The big takeaway here seems to be that his new money average is 12.1 million, and that's a little bit lower than the 12.5 million new money average of Cole Kmet, which, if indeed true, this would rank Pat Freiermuth as the 9th overall paid tight end in the NFL.
So putting the math aside, well, not putting the math aside, putting the expectation that the deal was going to get done, because you've been talking for months and even over the last week, like this thing's getting done. I know it's getting close to the deadline, but this thing will get done, and it did. So kudos to you. But putting that aside, do you like the deal? Do you think Freiermuth is worth it? What is your kind of personal feeling?
Well, I had his floor as far as true market value goes. That's not my opinion. That's just what kind of the market's telling me. I kind of thought he would come in a little higher than Cole Kmet, okay? At somewhere between 12.5 and, what did I tell you, 13.8 felt like the range that this thing would come in when just looking at market value. The fact that they got him at 12.1 is even better on the Steelers side. He wasn't going to sign this deal unless he came out of this as a top 10 tight end. I mean, it just, that wasn't going to happen. So if you look at who was, he had Dalton Schultz at 12 million, so he was going to probably top that Dalton Schultz number, or at least equal it probably. So, I'm fine with it overall. I mean, this guy obviously has missed some time. He's had to deal with some poor quarterback play. You would suspect that he's going to be used heavily in this offense. If you would have got up into the 13.5 or 13.8 range, As far as new money average, basically the ceiling of where I had this pegged, you could have indeed raised your eyebrows, I think, uh, uh, for sure.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with the deal. Look, it's the only way you're going to get the deal done. So, look, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, for me, what it comes down to, this is good money for a good tight end. This is somebody that is not going to be the elite guy. He's not the powerful blocker that some of the top names are. He's not the exact dynamic weapon downfield that others are, but he's not getting paid like that either. He's getting paid in that Dalton Schultz, Cole Kmet range, which I think is perfect for him. And you would expect Freiermuth to have a really successful season, healthy and being the number 2 target in this passing game. So with the 60 plus reception season, which is reasonable to assume really the expectation of what he should have, that would make him well worth the money.
I suspect his cap charge for like 2025 to come in somewhere between, I don't know, around 13 million or so. So obviously you can work around that. Will they have a roster bonus in next off season as part of the total cash that he's set to receive? We'll see. It's hard to really tell based off the early numbers here, and all like that. Here's the other key thing. You got him locked up for 4 additional years. So I did wonder if this thing would be a 3-year extension or a 4-year extension.
Right.
I wondered if his side, because of the lack of guaranteed money, might push for a shorter deal, meaning 3 years instead of 4-year extension. So the Steelers not only got him at what I would call a below market price at 12.1 million, they also locked him up for that extra year. So
yeah,
if you want to look at it that way, that's kind of a double win on the Steelers' part. Now remember, you had this guy looking at that franchise tag sword that I'm sure Omar keeps ain't afraid to show everybody there, because the projected franchise tag, at least right now, for tight ends for next season is 13.708 million. And then if you add on the 1.482 he was scheduled to make, they had him kind of pegged at what he could earn through next season. So then you can kind of work off of those numbers there. And plus, if he went without a contract this year, there's no guarantee. I mean, he have an injury or fall off a cliff or what have you. There's no guarantee he gets tagged. It's only the threat of the tag. So the fact that the Steelers APY came in at, under the franchise tag number, that's impressive in of itself there. So from the Steelers' perspective, I think they got the better of them here.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think, we'll get all the details and confirmation on the numbers here soon, but that's probably a good way to frame things right now. But, he had a really good first 2 years, was hurt last year. So it was a down year, and maybe that hurt his leverage some a little bit. If he had another, typical season for Freiermuth, 60 catches, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns, he probably comes in a bit higher than what he ultimately got, but he gets that security. And while I never begrudge a player for holding in or holding out or taking their path to get their long-term deal, Freiermuth, to his credit, worked hard this training camp, was there for every practice, every rep, didn't sit out, was a great teammate, really improved his leadership, and those things, I think, told the team that this guy wanted to work and wanted to do whatever he could to help this team, and was rewarded on the other side. And it's always nice to see when those things take place.
And, another thing is, as we said on the show the other day, Cole Kmet's deal was over a year old. So the fact that Freiermuth did not top that APY is a tad bit surprising. He just 400,000 under it. But on top of that, well, I mean, a trade off to that, we'll see what the cash flow looks like. I'm expecting Freiermuth's cash flow for at least the first 2 new years of the deal, 2025 and 2026, to be stronger than Kmet's. That might have been the trade off there. But that Kmet deal happened in like July of 2023, I think. So the fact that he still wasn't able to top it, shows is really kind of a win for the Steelers, in my opinion.
Yeah. So any other final thoughts here on this Freiermuth deal, Dave?
No, it's done. And we thought it would be done. We'll have to see what whatever the signing bonus is probably going to be the new cash spent. Is it $11 million, $12 million, $10 million signing bonus, somewhere around there? But that looks like that's all it's going to be as far as new cash spent on him for 2024.
Okay, good deal. Let's just briefly talk as well, since more news has come. We could do a whole new podcast, basically, with all the news that's come out the last hour or so. Russell Wilson speaking with the media and not really providing clarity on his status for this weekend, says he's working and doing everything he can to get ready. He hopes to play, but there is no guarantee he will, based on some of the media reports and videos. He did dress. He did go through some throwing today on the side, it looked like, while Justin Fields appeared to handle the bulk of the individual and team reps. Wilson said he did a little bit in team, but it does not sound like he did much. And so don't have the final injury report yet. Should be coming out very, very soon. Would imagine he'll be questionable, and we'll all play the waiting game until Sunday.
Yeah. And as we're recording this, the injury report is not out for Friday. It will probably come out right after we end this.
Probably, like literally. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have an idea which way this is going to go. But as we said on the podcast Friday morning, if he can't execute the game plan the way you had it drawn up before Thursday, you probably need to think twice about rolling him out there.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we shall see and get our answer. I don't know when, at least by 90 minutes before Sunday's kickoff, but maybe we'll get some more clarity on Saturday.
All right.
All right, we can wrap things up unless you had something else you wanted to add. But Freiermuth done, Hayward done. I know we'll see on Najee Harris. You still thinking that thing's gonna get done here?
They sure have the cash and the cap to get it done. Especially when you consider that the what you cleared as far as the Cam Hayward deal goes, and look, this Freiermuth deal should not use up $3 million of that available cap space. So they have the cash availability spending wise, and they definitely have the cap space right now. No, we don't know how much maybe cap space they might be holding back to do something in season, potentially trade for a wide receiver or something that we've talked about there. But all the signs as far as spending both cash and cap at least tell me that they can get something done with Najee. Whether or not they will, obviously, I have not been 100% on that. I've been more in the 75% range. But look, if they don't get it done tonight, or if they don't get it by the time they get on the plane on Saturday, it's probably not going to get done.
Yeah. So we shall see. All right, Dave, wrap us up, get us out of here, and we'll hopefully talk to you guys again here on Monday to recap the weekend.
All right. In the meantime, follow me on Twitter /X at Steelers Depot. Follow Alex at Alex_Kozora. Follow the show at Terrible Podcast. Email the show, theterriblepodcast@gmail.com. If you like what we do and want to donate to the cause, SteelersDepot.com. Hit the donate button up right navigational bar. Also, if you like an ad-free version of the site, SteelersDepot.com. Hit the donate button or ad-free button and follow the directions that way. So until next time, as always, thanks for listening to the Terrible Podcast with Dave and Alex.